This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by... Ow. Ow. Ow.
What is that? We said a like amount to show, so whatever you choose to do, but be sure to take your 5 out. I'm doing fine. This is really hard. Yeah, that's what she wrote.
I'm standing here with Leah from... You want to name an organization or a place or...
Goffstown.
Oh, okay. Most of the folks coming in here are actually telling me they don't have an opinion yet, which I can respect. I mean, it's good to listen. But you said you already do.
Well, I do have an opinion. It might not be what you think it is. And that is that I'm a little ambivalent about the idea of a broad-based tax. I want fair taxes. And if we decide to go with a broad-based tax, I don't know how they're going to do it, because businesses are going to fight tooth and nail about a sales tax, and people aren't going to like the idea of a property tax. An income tax. But whatever we do, I want a constitutional amendment that we don't have any property tax anymore then, because every single place that adds this, it ends up being on top of what I'm already paying. And so, you know, if we can get what we need, first of all, we need to reduce the spending is what we need to do. We need to reduce the spending. But I don't want to add another tax on top of my property tax, because it's already too much. Tax hits everybody, but that hurts business. So I don't know. I don't know what I think. What should I think? Is it an income tax?
Leah's always got an opinion.
Yeah, well, what is it? Sale?
I think you can guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like my mother-in-law, unsolicited, gets told that because she's on government assistance of one kind or another, now she gets a free cell phone. I mean, it's like, I don't have a cell phone.
If they've got enough money to give out cell phones, they got too much money.
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be a lot of places where there's a lot of money funneling through this colander, that we need to stop up these holes before we talk about bringing in more money into it.
Well, I guess it bothers me that they're using so much money to actually hurt people, actively, directly hurt people that haven't harmed anybody, you know, within any number of victimless crime laws.
Right. Oh yeah, it's all ridiculous.
All right.
We've got to stop the spending first. I don't know, you know, where do we? I don't even know how to find the data. It's just so complex and so convoluted now. I don't even know where to find the data. Where is the money all going?
She's saying it's all online. The lady behind us was saying that. So.
God, it's all online. Right.
Anyway.
I'm sure. Easily accessible too, right?
Well, she'll give you the URL. I don't know.
Great. Well, I'll ask her.
All right. Well, thanks for being involved, Leah.
Thank you. Here's the name to ask.
And then now Leah and company are noticing that you've got to do what here to make a comment?
I believe I just heard her say that you have to fill out a card if you want to ask a question.
Well, I'll verify that. How about? Is that true? Do you have to fill out a card to ask a question?
I don't know that for sure. I was told when I went to work here as a volunteer, who knows very little about what's going on, to give people a card and a pen if they didn't have one, because they might want to ask a question.
Okay.
So,
so keep it with me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, and write the question on here?
And if you don't have a pen.
All right.
See, now, at my age, I do that so I'll remember it.
Okay. I gotcha. I'll bring it with me.
Ma'am, were you saying the information is online? Was that you that was saying that? Were you the one that was saying the information is online, or was that somebody else? Okay, that was somebody else behind her. I couldn't see you, so okay.
I don't know the question.
All right, sorry.
I want to give a special thanks to the taxpayers of Nashua for supporting this excellent public library that provides such a good place for us to have a public conversation. That reaches over 70,000 people across New Hampshire. We believe that our state faces long-term budget problems that can't be solved in short-term ways.
I'm not sure if I was clear on this earlier, but the woman you saw earlier at the podium is Kathy Silver. She's the executive director of the Fair Tax Coalition, which I sometimes call the Fleece the Citizens Coalition.
All options on the table. And so that's our work, to foster a productive discussion about what we value as a space that we're holding around the state. Our first was in Keene last Tuesday. Our second was in Portsmouth last Thursday. He's an attorney at law at Barry and Conroe. You may also know him as one of your national...
Really sort of a subset of that total, and that subset really...
This gentleman here.
General fund on one hand. Those two areas is pretty similar to what you see up here, although...
The gentleman there is providing sort of a generic look at how the budget is allocated in New Hampshire. Now, since they've indicated that there will be some sort of media availability or an end to the meeting around 8:30, I'll probably go back about that time. One of the people who will be speaking, I'm not sure if it's the person who's already speaking or if it'll be the next one, will be talking about school issues. And he's some sort of school administrator, so you know, if he were to raise questions about the income tax, I mean, that would be surprising, but you never know.
It certainly seems obvious to me that we must engage in a conversation about how to enrich and expand the revenue sources.
It sounds like he's trying to farm you. Now this gentleman here just said that the budget has declined in New Hampshire over the last few years.
And you haven't been paid yet, and there you go. You're a very well educated because not a lot of people know about the existence of their program. It is not particularly every dollar that they earn. So that's why you get that result of about 8.3.
Now that slide you just saw basically said that New Hampshire's tax system is regressive and that low-income New Hampshireites are paying 4 times the effective tax rate of high-income New Hampshireites. Low-income New Hampshireites paying 4 times what high-income New Hampshireites are paying in terms of tax rate. And of course, one of the audience members brought up the fact that, oh, well, so are you saying we should have a progressive tax rate if you think a regressive tax rate is bad? And another thought when it comes to regressive tax rates, well, yes, okay, let's assume that's true that New Hampshire has a regressive tax rate. That would mean that they're saying that a regressive tax rate is good because New Hampshire is much wealthier and much more prosperous than the other states. Could it be that a regressive tax has something to do with that? If in fact you buy the idea that New Hampshire has a regressive tax.
Effectively lowers your property tax responsibility. It could also be used.
As usual, I have my audio recording sign on.
Is it safe to assume that you won't be corresponding with Homeland Security again?
That's Dave Minson from the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, meeting with New Hampshire's governor, fighting Real ID. He's just one of many hundreds who've joined the feisty alliance and are making their mark on state government. Don't let these folks have all the fun. Do what I did. Join the alliance and help us keep the State House in check. nhliberty.org